politics dressed as comedy. Who's outraged? Who's doubling down? The GGHOP is here to turn it all around with an ancient idea called having fun. Sounds a little scary, stick around, don't run. In the next 60 minutes, begging you to try. Open up your echo chamber and ditch your tribe. There's just one mission by which we're led, to put a big fat smile upon your head. The song is almost done, time to stop the show, but there might be something left that you'd like to know. What's GGHOP mean? It's your right to ask. The guaranteed, genuine, honest to goodness 1 hour podcast. Good morning. It is Monday, December 11th. You are tuned to the GGHOP, the guaranteed, genuine, honest to goodness 1 hour podcast, all sponsored by the good people at Wilson Farm Market in Arcadia and Frankfurt Beer Works.
Frankfurt Beer Works.
We're broadcasting live from the tap room of Frankfurt Beer Works right here in the heart of the Christian Ridge Historic District. I'm your host, Bill Gant, along with Karen Haynes.
Hello.
And James Swinford.
Word up.
Hey there. Okay. Well then, welcome.
Word.
Well,
After
thank
the
you.
weekend.
Survived it.
Yeah.
Survived the weekend. Very good.
Survived.
We're back. Before we get to that, just let you know, we're giving away free stuff. A
Yes,
freaking Franklin's worth of food from the farm, Wilson Farm Market. The GGHOP. Send us the THEEGGHOP at gmail.com. Let us know you want the card. That's all you got to say. We'll put you in for the drawing. There's been several people in for that drawing. Drawing number 2 for Amanda's basket.
Basket of beauty.
It's her basket of beauty.
Ooh.
The basket of beauty. James
Love
worked
it.
all weekend on that. Was ready
Wordsmith.
for it. Crafted it out. The basket of beauty. That'll be pulled the 27th by Jimmy Ramos. Jimmy Ramos will be here pulling that. And you can just say, I want the basket. You don't need to give a phrase. You don't have to compose a sentence.
You don't have to send pictures of your thinning hairline.
You don't have to prove why you need this beauty basket, this basket of beauty, which is, I think, valued at near $200.
Jada Pinkett need not apply.
Jada Pinkett, look out, you're going to get slapped.
Don't
make them
hashtag
slap
me, all
you.
right? Don't hashtag.
So there's that. What else? Oh, I should let you know the Wilson Farm Market guest calendar, who's coming up this week. It's just us 3 today, if you can handle it.
Oh, no.
Okay. But tomorrow, join us for Jessica Iman. A lot of fun. Local gal, a masseuse. Okay. Talking also a little recovery. Person that got over some stuff. Maybe you're out there kind of like that too. Then Friday, a lot of fun. Another person from the radio, the famous Cindy Lovelace from Scott and Cindy in the Morning from Shy 99, being on for about 30 years. So she'll be here. She'll have lots to say, lots to do.
It might be the 120-minute podcast.
You know, with her and with Todd, we could sit in here for 5 hours.
They've done everything everywhere around here.
Just talk.
At some point, yeah.
It's unlimited. And we will have Todd back again. He couldn't make it. A special sales meeting on Monday.
Yeah, he has this morning show or something.
He's
does
got
every
other
morning.
stuff to
Yeah,
do.
he's kind of a radio person.
But he will be back. After the first of the year, he will be back for sure. Also, I want to let you know, this holiday season, okay, we are giving back Wilson Farm Market and the GGHOP for our wonderful signs here. Again, there are these signs that we have up, and if they would happen to fall off or come off during the broadcast, that's a $10 that we give to Coach Kids of Clinton County, which puts older people like mentors with the kids, helps them out. Mm-hmm. So they've got good people to set up kids that need some mentoring, and they can hang out with them so you don't hang out with people like us.
Yeah, like us.
Yeah.
It's kind of a version like the Big Brother program from back in the day. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a borrow from the Saturday Night Live Peyton Manning.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the United Way.
Yeah.
Spend time with your kids so Peyton Manning does. You know, kind of the same idea here. And I think last show, we ripped all 4 off. So far, the total is up to $40 for the Coach Kids. And who knows what will happen today. Maybe these signs will fall off inadvertently.
I've already messed with mine earlier, so it's kind of on the edge.
We'll have to give more money to the kids.
Oof.
Yeah.
I tried to blow.
It's close.
Didn't quite work. Guess I got to go harder.
Oh, Karen. Well, let's get started with that. Karen,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
how was your weekend?
It was fantastic. I did the gingerbread open house.
You put on a great party here.
Had a great party. Had a great group of people.
Yes.
They decorated beer fridges in the tap room and enjoyed alcoholic beverages as well.
Not the kids. Not the kids. Not the kids.
Not the kids.
At least the ones I didn't catch. But
That's right. That's right. And
Just
stuff
the
went by.
ones she didn't card. Some of them.
Yeah.
probably,
Hey, anybody can stop in and have a drink.
Allegedly.
Well, you've got a kitty cocktail.
Meow meow.
Maybe Friday we'll have a couple of the houses and the fridges. We'll
Oh,
put them out here.
yeah.
We'll show them off a bit
I almost brought yours in.
because they're so
but
darn cute.
Then I realized it was so loaded with candy, I couldn't move it.
Tell everybody how many full size houses you made.
I did 25 gingerbread houses.
That's insane.
Yeah.
25. And you'll
25.
see it Friday. These are
Normal
two-story
normal
houses.
size houses, not
Yeah.
baby
And then how many beer
houses.
fridges? Like 10 of those?
I think there
Eight
were a
of those?
couple extra left over. I think there might be some sitting outside, but
Okay.
There was a
6
ton of them.
there.
Enough gingerbread for 25 houses and almost a dozen beer fridges.
Yeah.
And you went
Yeah.
through and made all that pre-made all the gingerbread stuff up.
I spent about a week making dough, rolling, cutting, baking.
No prefab. She's not prefab
Well-
house.
No,
No
this is
prefab
not
house.
prefab.
All right. So to be honest,
She prefabbed the roof.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead. Tell us
The,
the truth. You bought them.
I have a habit of rolling through the stores that put the Christmas stuff on sale.
Oh yeah.
And so,
yeah.
like, at the end, I will buy the kits, if they got them cheap enough.
Yeah.
And then I put them in a box and store them for next year. None of this stuff you should eat. I
No,
wouldn't eat
no.
it.
See, now there's the
But-
problem.
I know that's the problem. It's not like, yes, it's fun to do and all that, but you're not going to walk away and
It's not like Cake Boss
the
where you're eating
gingerbread.
the cool thing you made.
No, but last year, my wife and son came over here and made
Yeah.
the houses, and then they brought them to my house, and then we put them on the porch.
yeah.
But after like a couple days, like just sitting out there and kind of like looking at them, I just started like eating stuff off of them.
Nibbling
I couldn't
at
stop.
it. Just picking
I
things
couldn't
out.
stop eating the stuff off of them.
So most of the
And
candy
it's super
is
old.
fresh. Yeah, well,
That's
most,
super
Well, maybe
old.
that batch was.
I just couldn't help myself. I just kept eating it. Oh God. So
Yeah.
that's
But you complained about the cheese puffs I brought you.
cheese puffs.
Yeah, remember I brought you that giant thing of cheese puffs, and I didn't know the lid had been off of it for like weeks.
Oh yes, James brought me this 6-pound.
It's the
case
big one.
mega barrel.
If you watch The Office, it's that really huge one that has all the orange balls in it, the cheese balls in it. They're like super cheap, giant though.
Used to have football at my house, so he brought this over as a snack for people to enjoy. But then when I opened them, they were stale.
And they were like, you should make crafts with them stale, like those little styrofoam balls you'd buy.
You could
Now I see where you
string
brought them over.
and
Yeah.
have them as garland on the trees.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ta-da!
Well, some of those would have broke needles.
yes. Well, they're probably still somewhere in a
Yeah,
garbage,
yeah.
not
Yeah. They're out
degrading.
there. They're in Trash Island.
They'll be here when people are gone.
Yeah.
But I did repurpose the barrel, the giant barrel.
Oh, yeah.
I emptied it, washed it out, and then I buy like a big bag of rice, and it holds all my rice.
Now, see?
I guess I'm
It
alone.
holds your rice.
Yeah, instead of buying a small bag, I buy a big giant bag, and it's in there. I've got everything in there for
Scoop
rice.
straight out. Yeah.
'Cause I like
Holds
rice.
the rice.
Yeah. So well done. But yeah, so a good time on Saturday. Fantastic. Everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
Anything else exciting over the weekend?
Ryan and I brewed beer yesterday. We brewed some more Dark Army,
It's
which is a
delicious
stout.
from the Frankfurt
And
Beer
it's
Works.
quite delicious.
And pretty
Nice.
soon we're gonna have some Frankfurt Beer Works shirts we'll be giving away.
Yes. Well, yeah.
The shirts for our show are coming. They're in. Just got to give the guy the check. So that's good. And one of these days, maybe sometimes some people can sample some beer because right now you
Yeah.
don't have the
just gotta
official
know-
license to serve.
You just gotta know me
You just got to know. You gotta know.
and ask Ryan first, please.
And knowing
I don't want to
Ryan
get in
is-
trouble.
Get permission.
I'm like start a line out. Here you go. Here you go.
Now,
I'm
when
here
you-
for Frankfurt
I'll be in
Beer Works.
trouble.
Now, when you guys brew beer here,
Yeah.
do you ever have an idea for one? Or is one of these yours?
No, we're not right now, but I do have there's a beer I tried in Terre Haute, I think. Terre Haute Brewing Company. And it was a basically an almond joy stout.
Mm.
Damn.
And it was out of this world delicious. So we've never really found it since then. So that is one of my ideas, is to figure out how to create that recipe with the coconut, the almond, the chocolate.
So you could really taste it in there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I felt
Okay.
like I was like drinking hot,
Oh.
not hot, but drinking a warm, because stouts you don't necessarily drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
freezer
not ice cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm with
just
you.
normal room temperature.
Delicious.
Anyway, delicious. So that's my hope, to make one of those soon.
Sounds great.
Nice frothy almond joy.
James, did you make any beer this weekend?
No, I did not. I
Okay,
drank
what'd you do?
Drank a few.
Drank a few. What'd you do?
About 6. Just went out. I had a nice time out. Didn't do a whole lot of anything major. It was one of those, did everything the last 3 weekends, so it was kind of a recovery weekend.
Stay
Yeah,
home.
Yeah.
Nice night in.
Yeah. Couple more weeks before Jesus' birthday, get the rest in.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
It won't be long now.
No.
The kids go to school this week, and then next week's a short week.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like, we started doing these practices for this podcast in like July, I think it was, or August,
Yes.
something like that. And it was like blazing hot. And it doesn't feel like it was very long ago when we were doing that. And it's already 29 degrees outside.
I know.
Yeah. The middle
It's
of
been,
winter.
it's been back and forth the past couple days. But
Yeah.
yeah. It's the winter is here, I think.
Went by
It's
too
changed.
fast.
It went by very fast. It goes by quick.
Hugely fast.
Well, me, I attended your party, and it was a great time.
Good.
Had a good
Glad
time.
you enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have you eaten part of your gingerbread house yet, or is it still?
I have not. We left him here.
Oh.
Yeah.
My wife
they
had to
gotta
go
take 'em
somewhere, so
home.
my son and I just walked home. We just left him here, and we're gonna pick him up. So, but I'll be snacking off his house.
Well, this year the candy was a little more fresh. Last year, I think I kind of hoarded
Yeah,
candy
you
that
you were
kids
eating
wouldn't eat.
You were eating extra old
You were
candy.
eating extra else.
Last
but
year I was
this
eating
year, you
very
should be
old
okay.
candy, and
Yeah, this year.
it all passes through. I did fine.
If you ever eaten like circus peanuts, that ain't gonna. Nothing else is really gonna hurt you.
Oh man,
Yeah.
those are good. And a very few.
I love foam from the '60s.
Yes,
That tastes great.
Yes, the foam peanuts, they're delicious. But you're gonna eat a few of those. That runs out really fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, got a couple stories here. Maybe get us through the hour. Without a guest, I don't know what we'll do. I'm sure we'll be fine. So the first one. So you, Big Three's Company fan? Did you watch that growing up at all?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay. James, did you?
Yeah, a
did
little
you
bit,
care
yeah.
For it.
Usually parents would watch it all the time.
Yeah.
They probably still watch it now. Heck, in between game shows.
Well, I liked the show. And then a few years ago, I found that
You don't get it when you're younger.
exactly
I
you're
mean,
just you're just
yeah,
watching.
You're just like,
something.
who's the girl with the boobs? And then,
Yeah, you just hear them laughing at
Yeah.
phrases, and you don't know what's
Look at
really
their
going
shorts.
on.
Yeah.
All the double entendre and
yeah.
yeah. But still enjoyed it. And then as I got older, I found out this show, much like many American television shows, are based off a show from England.
Yeah.
So it's Man About the House.
Well, I mean, we take everything they do and make it a little better, except for what, music and the.
So, yeah, go the other way.
I mean, like everything else. really.
Sometimes we send it over
Yeah.
there. Sometimes they send it
Yeah.
over here. It gets a little bit better. But there's a few examples. That's one. Man About the House. It's essentially the same. A couple of the names are different.
Oh no! Like, what was it? What was it called there though?
It's called Man About the House instead of Three's Company,
Yeah.
because the first episode is just like the first and the first episode of Three's Company. The title is Man About the House.
Uh-huh.
It's because the first episode is the two girls are cleaning up after a party because the third roommate has gotten married and is gone.
Right.
And then there's a guy who fell asleep at the party in the bathtub. They wake up and they find, and that's Jack.
Is that the exact same way the first episode of the American
Both
was?
Yep.
of them.
Yeah.
Both of them start that way. But the trick is having a guy live with them when they're looking for really a girl roommate, and then the people that own the house are not probably going to be okay with two girls living with some guy, because the Man About the House is from a little bit earlier. Like I said, it's before
Yeah. So, but when did that come out? That came out in the
it's
mid
like in
'70s.
70. I think it starts in maybe like 72.
Really? It's that old?
It's
I
that
thought it
old.
was like late '70s, and then it got syndicated in the '80s.
That's the one here.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
it
thought about
comes
the
here.
one
I think in like 78.
So that one didn't have to be way back then.
It was. It's even before. So
And I
just-
wonder what kind of stuff they were wearing. They all look like Austin Powers and shit.
it does. It's a little bit. It's coming out of the 60s.
You know what I'm saying?
It's coming out of the 60s. So there's some of that.
Some
and
big-
there's different fashion anyway over in Europe.
Big
than here.
collars and shit.
But
Yeah.
no, that's coming. That's like in the future. Those big collars are.
Oh
late
yeah, it's like
70s.
4 or 5 years away.
These guys are still coming out of the 60s. So a lot of what is it, Paisley?
Oh,
Some
yeah, yeah,
Paisley
yeah,
prints
yeah.
and things like that. So, but it's the same. It's essentially the same show. You know, the whole thing. Another example, and we were going to talk about it when Todd was here Friday. This isn't a Norman Lear show, but you know, that kind of thing. Norman Lear died last week, who made a lot of old programming.
Right.
But one that came from England to here too is Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my
England-
all-time favorite shows, by the way.
I love it. In England, it was Steptoe and Son. So just same kind of idea, just different people.
And was Steptoe his last name then?
Steptoe, I think, is his last name. Yes.
It's kind of ate up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I haven't watched as much of that one because it's way different. It's different. Yeah.
Well, I
But
mean, Red Fox is like
Red Fox was great, and then
no, Red Fox is awesome.
Red Fox is
Red
awesome.
is awesome. You ever hear any of his stand up, like his old stand up and
It's
stuff?
dirty.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
real
dirty.
bad. Yeah,
Very dirty. He can clean it up. He also, I remember a story. I think it's in the movie Comedian, and this is from like 2002. It's a movie Jerry Seinfeld made, and it's about being a stand up, and then you're following this one guy in it. They're kind of following this one guy. He's kind of like helping out a little bit.
yeah.
But then during the show, they are at, I don't know, the Comedy Store or somewhere, and he actually has like Chris Rock come in, and they're sitting like around a table, like before the people are getting started, and just telling old stories. And I'm pretty sure it's that movie where Chris Rock tells a story that growing up, he loved Red Fox, and he finally meets Red Fox in a club, like doing a show. And he's sitting in he's like, he goes over to like meet him, and he's sitting, you know, in like this booth with like these ladies and stuff. And he sits down next to him, and Chris Rock and Chris Rock, I think, was pretty like straight edge. Like, he doesn't like, I don't think he drinks a lot. I don't think he does like a lot. He's never been like a drug.
Yeah, I don't
guy.
think he's like hardcore.
Not
Just like-
hardcore.
he's
Like, he
a
doesn't hate
social
you
guy.
if you drink
Yeah, he's
or
like a
do
social,
something.
maybe socially.
But he just doesn't
Yeah,
do
yeah, he's
stuff.
not. Yeah,
Like, he's not into it. And so he goes, I was so excited to meet this hero of mine. And then I was like, hey, nice to meet you. And he goes, here you go. And he hands him over a glass grenade that's full of cocaine. And he just
Oh
holds
my
on to all the
God.
time. Hold on to this. It's like, damn.
fire in the hole.
So Red Fox liked the party. 2 X's. How could you not?
Right.
But there were other characters on there too. My favorite character on that show, and we'll get back to the Three's Company. I promise. I mean, what do we care, right? But I mean, Aunt Esther.
Oh,
I
yeah,
forget
yeah.
that woman's real name, but Aunt Esther is. And there's an episode where they go to jail, and Fred and Lamont are in the cell, and she's the only one that can come pick them up. And she's always Did you watch Sanford and Son?
No, I did a little bit, but
It's been a long time.
Okay.
yeah, it's been a minute.
So father and son run in the junkyard.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then his wife, who has passed away,
Right.
her sister is Aunt Esther, that comes over, and she's real religious. But then once he pokes her a little bit, he's always talking about how ugly she is. She snaps. And
Yeah.
She starts like beating him and yelling at him and getting real, you know. So she comes walking in there, and she starts saying something to him, and then she just goes, and he's got a sucker in his mouth, and she goes, "You just keep sucking on that sucker." That just makes me laugh every time. And she has this real like grumpy look too. Like, she could put on like this face. And so when my son was learning multiplication,
I've seen it on T-shirts before.
Well, she does the same. She's in Friday. Have you seen
Oh
Friday?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, another one on the list. I'm gonna make
Yeah,
a
we're
Christmas
making a
list of what
list for
Santa's bringing you
Karen.
this year.
Shit that Karen hasn't seen from the
Yes.
90s. Yeah.
She's in Friday. These 2 ladies come up like collecting for the church.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's the
yeah,
thinner one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when my son was learning multiplication and he would get these certain ones like wrong over and over, I just went on Google Images and found Aunt Esther's mean face. And when he would do it wrong, I'd be like, and then, yeah.
That's hilarious.
He knows all his facts now. Thanks, Aunt Esther.
Learning.
Great old show. So back to Three's Company.
Yes.
Okay, which was a lot of fun. Now, since did you like certain characters better? Did you think the original Suzanne Summers character was better? Because there was like 3 different people that played the blonde roommate. There was like Terry.
Yeah.
One was like a
She
stewardess.
was the first one, right?
Terry.
Chrissy.
Chrissy's the first one.
Oh, Chrissy's the first one.
Chrissy, because Chrissy is the Thigh Master. I just said her name. Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne
That's the
Summers.
original
Yeah.
in the first episodes. Then there's Terry. Terry might be the last one.
Terry.
No, there's Terry. Oh gosh, maybe we should have done some.
There was a
There's
Shimp. There was
Terry.
Shimp.
There was Shimp.
right? Then there was Christy Alley. and
Brought to you
then,
by Wilson Farm.
Oh, I'm just gonna throw out all the ones that were like obscure add-ons later on.
So there was one of them, Terry. One's a nurse, and then one was like real ditzy and tall and had really big hair. And I forget if they named her Chrissy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So one had short blonde hair and she was a nurse, and she wasn't flighty. That might
Right.
have been the last one. Then the one in between, yeah, it looked like the girl from Saved by the Bell, the one that dated
Yeah.
Zach with like giant hair.
Yeah.
That's who it reminded me of. Okay. I didn't mind any of that changing because who I always thought was pretty was Joyce DeWitt.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Joyce DeWitt, which is
Janet.
Janet. Yeah.
Janet. Especially the first couple seasons because she has this really short hair and there's just in the promo, you know, she's got that long jersey on with a 0 on it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. She's just like the next door type.
Gettable.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say. She seemed gettable.
She's gettable for somebody portly like myself.
She seems gettable.
But I wasn't big into Suzanne Summers. I didn't think Suzanne Summers was ever like really, I mean, I know she passed away like this year or last year.
Right.
I mean, no, the personal, I didn't see that as.
Actually, I don't think it was that. I was one a few months ago.
Was
Yeah.
it? It
Yeah.
wasn't long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a good old Three's Company. Well, related to Three's Company, this is an interesting story. Okay. This is from the Stamford, Connecticut. Advocate. And it was talking about this story. I can't believe I found this. I had no idea anything like this existed. And I've done more research on it. And it is huge. And it is growing every day.
So
Okay.
so the article that we read, it's bigger than probably what it was whenever they were first kind of checking
It
it
is because we were going to do it about a week ago. We had to take a day off. We had some sickness around here, so it's no problem. Reduce the spread, subtract the spread. What is it, James? Closet the
out. I
spread.
don't know, stop,
whatever it
drop,
is.
and fucking roll.
Stop, drop, and
Whatever
fucking
they
roll.
tell us
Get
to
back
do,
in your
whatever
room.
you tell us.
I don't
to
know what it
do.
was. Yeah,
We don't want to be one of those rumble fucking podcasts.
Look out!
No,
We're gaining viewers.
I'm
Prep
double
for the end.
I got all the vaccines. Look at me.
So this is big, and I looked it up, and I don't really have a Facebook account, so it's tough for me sometimes to creep on there properly.
Probably.
But there was one, I think this weekend or coming up in Northwest Indiana. They're everywhere. So let's get to it. It's a
Lake County?
Yeah. Mrs. Roper Romps. Okay. So Mrs. Roper. Now, Mrs. Roper and Mr. Roper were on the original program.
Right.
It's Audrey. I can't remember her last name, but I know he's Norman Fell is his name.
Right.
Yeah.
They were on for a few seasons, and then they got their own show. But looking up about the show, I don't know. So you remember those two? But
Right.
then do you know who they're replaced by?
Don Knotts, right?
Don Knotts, because
Mr.
it becomes
Furley?
Mr. Furley.
And he's the most popular because I think when it went into syndication, I don't think they showed the first 2 seasons as much in syndication because I don't think it was like, you know, like some of those shows start off in the first year or so. You're kind of like if you go back and watch the first season of some of the shows,
They're
that
very
have went-
different.
yeah. Like a lot of times it's like everything was like, hopefully we get better stuff. I mean, we have great stuff, but
Yes.
you know, everything sounds better after they've been through it. for a
Yeah, the
minute.
show
Yeah.
changes a little
Yeah.
bit. The first seasons of shows, and talk about I mean, you can see that in a lot of different programs, but one that I found, and again, we're just talking TV here, but we'll keep
Right.
it on the rails. I've got the card and everything. So
Woohoo!
The card
But we
always,
can
the
do
card
that.
always helps.
but one that follows that, if you're a fan of the show or were a fan of the show, but I think you should try it. Roseanne. If you go watch the first season of Roseanne and compare it with the other seasons,
Yeah.
it's completely different.
When she leaves that factory, it's on.
Well, the first season is
George Clooney
George Clooney is in there, absolutely.
for supervisor. George
Uh-huh.
Clooney.
George Clooney, just the guy, the supervisor at the widget factory, wherever
Yep,
she's working.
yep.
But the first season, it's funny, but it also has like at the end of every one, there's a bit of like a serious message.
Well, because it started in the 80s,
Yeah,
late 80s.
Late 80s.
So like every single show in the 80s, because I think it was probably because Family Ties,
Yeah.
where like at the end they'd always wrap it up with some moral thing, because the cartoons
Right.
all did it too. Like I watch He-Man, every last bit of He-Man was like, don't kick kids in the head or something stupid. Don't hip toss people like I'm doing.
sure thing, big oily handsome guy.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you watch He-Man growing up?
Family Ties. What's
Yes.
funny is there was an episode on Family Ties that I think one of the characters died from not one of the main characters, but one of the characters' boyfriends died in a car accident.
Okay.
Drunk driving. I don't know.
Yeah,
Am I right?
you might be.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So, my mother and I watched that show, and it was tear jerking moments, right?
Sure.
Well, unfortunately, to my demise, and I was in high school, happened to go out and found myself in a precarious moment, and somebody drove me home and dropped me off at the door.
Okay.
And I come in the house, and I'm trying to take off my shoes, but they're heels, not tennis shoes. And I'm holding on to the wall.
Oh.
Long story short, it is a long story. My mom asked for a kiss, and I'm like, no, I'm good. And I go in to give her a kiss, and before I give my mom a kiss goodnight, I go, because I've been drinking alcohol. She was so mad.
I thought the person dropped you off was really
gonna
drunk.
crash.
You were
Yeah,
gonna get
yeah.
in trouble.
Yeah, they just dropped me off. Like, I didn't know who they were.
She
Oh.
got dropped
Yeah, it
off
was-
by a stranger
Wow. It
while
was-
she was drinking.
Yeah,
So it was a weird prom.
It
You
was-
said you had the heels on.
yeah,
Didn't
no,
remember
I
who
think
you
I
went
was
with?
just going out to go out. But anyway, I
Dang.
definitely found myself at the end of that conversation. We just watched The Family Ties.
You saw what
You
Alex
saw
went
what happened.
through?
How
My
could you do that
God.
to me?
Michael Gross was in tears. How could you do this to mom?
I thought we made a connection.
And then you just threw up all over.
No, I just
We need some Denny's.
slunk my little ass upstairs, and
Pee the bed.
Oh,
yeah, I
well,
kind of.
I would
It's
say
a pretty good story.
the nice thing about what you did, I mean, at least you got a ride home. You
Yeah.
didn't drive home.
I do remember the ride home was a 2-seater, and I think because there was somebody else was there, and I
the
sat on
bicycle.
the
The gear shift?
shifter thing. Well, not on it. I mean, I
Cool.
didn't do the pumpkin dance, but
Don't talk about the We're
That's
trying
a-
to keep this straight.
That's a later.
Don't bring that up.
that's a different episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember straddling this, and you realize with heels on, I must have had a skirt on. Yeah, I was
You're a bad girl.
I was a very bad.
Dang.
No, I don't
What kind
know
of
if I
car was
that
it?
bad, but
She
I
was
just know
she was dating Nick from
I
Family
was-
Ties.
I was very.
Come on, Nick will help you.
Now she makes gingerbread houses
That's
instead
right.
of junk
Yeah, now
sculptures.
I'm making up for it now.
So,
Being all goody two shoes.
do you remember what you drank?
Oh no,
What were you drinking? No,
I have
Colin.
no idea.
Mind racers.
Do you remember the guy's name?
Oh no,
Oh, good lord.
I barely remember.
Do you
the
remember how
apartment
old you
complex.
were? 13.
I wasn't driving yet,
Orange 13.
I think I
Wasn't
was in high
driving
school,
yet.
Okay, in high school, not driving.
but no, I don't remember.
Then did that ever happen again? Did you
Hell
not do that
no.
anymore? Okay.
Hell no.
Okay. Again, look what Mallory went
Lessons
through.
learned.
Look what Mallory
Ma'am.
went through.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? Jesus. So, back to Three's Company and
Yeah.
not your drunken teen years.
I was gonna say
That's
she
a great story,
I was
though.
gonna say if it was just my old lady driving me home, she basically described my Fridays whenever
Yes,
I'm
that's
off
every
work.
weekend, dropping you off.
I kind of thought you looked familiar.
I like my days off. It's nice.
And it's okay for a guy to like a gear shifter. It's all right. Doesn't mean anything less.
Eh.
So Stamford,
made it.
Connecticut. Now this is already getting going. These are called Mrs. Roper ROMs. So again, the Roper's on there. And I was going to tell you that when it switched to Mr. Furley, this was a bit of television trickery, if you will. Okay. TV and people and executives can be very tricky. So I think what happened was, here's how the story goes, is that Norman Fell, okay, he was funny. And there were times in the first few seasons where he would break the third wall in this show. You know what break the third wall is?
Like you're playing to the camera.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So in that show,
Like The Office.
you
right?
never look to the camera and say something because it's supposed to be,
Right.
you know,
It's-
you're the voyeur type thing. There's a couple times where he'll in these early ones, he makes a joke about Helen, his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
hams it to the camera. Okay. So he was a funny guy. And then they're all working really well together. But I think slowly he wanted more money.
Oh.
Okay. And so these smart television executives, okay, this is so smart. So what they did was instead of arguing with somebody or sitting down with your agent and telling you and start to hammer it out, and then you feel bad about coming to the show, and now you hate the show, and now you're going to quit the show. You know what? You're right, Norman. You and Audra are hilarious. And so what the network has decided to do, because we've heard from several people, we're going to give you your own show.
And just let you crash and burn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, right, and hey, here's the good thing. It's going to be right on after Three's Company. So we've got the support for our viewers are tuning in. Then they're going to come right to your show. We've got the great character actor, Jeffrey Tambor from the Larry Sanders. Hey now, Hank Kingsley. Jeffrey Tambor's in that. He's really young. And of course, if I'm saying that and you don't know who it is, look it up. You'll see him, be like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He's in
Everything
everything.
back then,
Okay. I think
especially.
he cut the cord at my son's birth. I mean, he's everywhere.
Everywhere.
So they let him do that show for about, I think, a season or two. It's gone. We hire this guy. No more Norman Fell.
Yeah.
And then now you've got Don Knotts,
Yeah.
who's coming in, who's very famous.
Yeah.
But I liked Mr. Furley. I like Norman Fell better. So I'm a Shemp guy.
Yeah.
As-
right. Right.
So that's kind of how that worked out. But we're talking about today, Mrs. Roper. Okay. So Mrs. Roper, these are Mrs. Roper romps. This is like a party thing that people do. Okay. And this is from Stamford, Connecticut, the Advocate, on November 11th in Stamford. They had one of these parties. Okay. And you dress up like Mrs. Roper. Okay. So there's a woman who's putting it all together. Let's see. Do I have her name here? Anne Flounders.
But if you
Oh,
remember,
man.
she always wore those big, crazy, grandma-looking muumuus.
Yes. So
stuff
it's
like
called a caftan.
I thought they were called moo-moos.
Yeah.
I thought it was called a muumuu. And for all I know, they're called muumuus, and this is like a new version of to make it nice.
Or it's like, that
Don't
was
be
the,
calling big shirts
or that was like a
muumuus.
brand. It's like hot tubs, not jacuzzi.
Could be. It could
Jacuzzi
be
just
like,
the name of the hot tub.
yeah, stalactites, mites, cherubim, seraphim, whatever, right? So this person, Anne Flounders, I thought this was interesting what she said. She said, I came to this from the direction of the caftan. A year or two ago, I decided that I had hit my caftan years, meaning that I just wanted to swan about in this comfy, flowy garment that I wouldn't have ever considered wearing before. So this person wasn't even like
Yeah, they're just giving the fuck
a
up.
big. This person has gone through the
I just
change.
said, I'm giving it the
She's
fuck
gone
up.
through the change, is what
Yeah.
you're saying, James.
That's when our bigger friends start wearing the coveralls and the bibs.
We've got a few guy friends that,
That don't
are embracing the Roper life.
And let me clarify that ones that aren't doing real work that are wearing that stuff.
Oh, look out! Look
Oh,
out!
ouch.
Now we're gonna get in trouble. No, just kidding. They're asleep.
Right? Yeah.
So this person got into this from the
Clothing,
garment. Wasn't even like a
yeah.
big fan of the show.
That's crazy.
Right.
I got into Daniel Boone because I like coonskin hats.
Coonskin hats.
You know,
So these people have made everything about this, and so they just get together. I think it's like a pub crawl. You get together, have a drink. The gaudy wooden jewelry
Oh,
she
yeah.
wears. Okay, the
Bright
Mrs. Roper.
colors, flowy,
and-
flowy.
And like I said, I looked up more about this. There is a Facebook. So if you're out there and this seems interesting to you, this flow. And by the way, last week we were going to do it. I tried to get one in town. They're all kind of put away for like the season.
Oh, because it's not warm
And my
enough?
wife was nice, and she went to the local, what's it called, where they, that place there where they sell old stuff, but then it helps people and all that.
yeah, we don't like
What's
to
it
give
called?
people.
Well, no, I can
not
say
unless
it.
they want to sponsor us.
Oh, well, it's
Yeah.
well, I don't mind, for God's sakes.
Goodwill.
Goodwill, that's it. The Goodwill Salvation Army Goodwill.
I was like worried. I was going to say it, and I thought, wait, maybe I'm not.
And I was
supposed
like,
to
yeah,
say
it looks like this, if you could find something like that. And she brought home a couple, and man, it looked more like an orderly's dress. It just it
Yeah.
wasn't. They're just
Like,
not.
there's
It's
a
not the
cross
season.
between a Gafgan, muumuu, and basically your grandma's nightgown that she wears all day long.
Yeah,
My
You know,
grandma
so-
made her own, if I do recall.
Yeah.
man, your grandma should have made me one. So I don't have one to wear.
I'd imagine that's what most of those people were doing, is making their own, right?
Could be, or you can buy them. I mean, they're not expensive. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
cheap piece of cloth that goes over, and then a lot.
Couple holes in it.
Well, and then exactly, it's just like a big
Snuggie.
poncho, soft poncho thing.
Yeah.
But then they also have sunglasses. They have like reddish hair wigs they wear.
Yeah.
But and there was men, women. Most of it was older people because it's like a pub crawl, so it's not like a bunch of kids hanging out there or whatever.
Hey, there's not a
But-
whole lot of people under 30 that know what that is.
Well, and I can't even
Percentage-wise?
believe this is so. The Mrs. Roper, the Mrs. Roper Romp Facebook group, and it says at the time I read this article at 20,000, it's over 20,000.
What?
And as well as the international.
Well, if you're hearing this, follow us on Rumble.
On Rumble,
We're
yeah,
talking about
follow
you.
us first, then go do this. As well as the international group of Mrs. Romper Ropers that has over 15,000 members.
Really?
They do it around the world. And like I said last week, I was looking it up and I couldn't get to it. There was an event either coming up this weekend or last weekend in Northwest Indiana. But they're like catching on. This is like just kind of starting and getting to be huge. I couldn't believe it that anyone, like you said, who the hell knows about?
That's such a niche thing.
I know.
Like just,
Yeah.
you know,
But it goes
a
to
little
show
spot
you,
in time.
just when you think you're out there and you think get out there.
It's
There's-
like they
people think like
they
you.
started a whole entire thing that was all about Cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch. You know what I'm saying? Or,
Yes.
Or like the Duke boys that took over that were supposed to be the cousins or something, and they
Yeah.
decided that was
Yeah.
yeah. Let's celebrate those guys.
Cousin Oliver.
Shimp
oh,
Duke.
man. You know Cousin Oliver?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a jump the shark moment,
Yeah,
like Fonzie. When Cousin Oliver shows up.
right.
Yeah. But would you do one of these if there was one in town or somewhere close and you had a caftan? Would
I'd
you
have to
join in and have a
be-
drink and
I'd have to be really drunk.
Get a
really
sweet,
drunk?
Get a sweet
not
Really
that
perm.
drunk.
into it?
Really drunk.
James, I'm pretty sure I know the answer that you're not probably going to wear a caftan.
Get a sweet perm.
You
Yeah.
get a sweet perm though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't. It
Yeah.
had to be here. What the fuck?
Beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to see that, that's a couple episodes back.
Yeah, I got to go back
Yeah.
to that. Well, I don't know. I think I would put one. I like the show.
I'd rather dress up like Don Knotts.
You could dress up like Don
Yeah,
Knotts.
he always had them big collared
Yeah.
paisley shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And in a few of the pictures, people were asking like, "Hey, where's Mr. Roper?" or "Where's?" Because
Yeah.
you don't see
There's
a
no
lot of
Mrs.
them.
Furley.
It's mostly Mrs. Roper. And
Yeah.
I know in this article, the Miss Ann Flounder, she said that we just want to celebrate because she was like, well, I want to talk about how Mrs. Roper, she was outgoing, she was sure of herself, and she had all these like positive qualities, but like. Also, she's like the most
just
sexually
sexually
frustrated
frustrated.
person on television. Because he won't ever. That's the joke.
Yeah.
It's the same joke and feel.
Well, no, like a lot of her jokes were kind of like, "Oh, it must be nice," kind of thing, talking about them all hanging out together upstairs. Yeah,
sometimes, but she's good friends with them.
Yeah.
and they're like on her side for things.
I
Like,
thought she was a swinger. I
Didn't-
mean,
is that
that
what you-
that was like my impression is
she puts off those vibes.
yeah, she puts off those vibes that, she'd be doing anything that get
she
her
would
in-
probably try, but they are definitely not.
No,
swingers.
no, but I
because it's always
yeah.
you never use your tools on me, Stanley. Why don't you bring your tool belt in here? It's the same dynamic of Married with Children with Peg
Yeah.
and,
Oh,
yeah.
and Al Bundy.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
the same
Peg.
thing.
Oh, and
Can we just hold hands?
All in the
Yeah.
Family too.
All in the Family.
Isn't that
Oh,
what
is
it's called?
Edith? Does Edith always want to have sex on that show?
No.
No, but like how they kind of treat each other.
Well,
Oh,
that was
okay.
just mean.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
most of it.
back and
is.
forth. It
It was the 70s and 80s. That's kind of how it was.
Man, that was
You're
all.
supposed to treat your woman mean.
Why ain't you in the kitchen? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Huh.
There was women actresses back then and stuff going on. Man, it was cool. So Roper Romp, I don't know. I'd give it a rip. I like the show.
I'd be
I know what you're feeling. I understand.
be a little way too tall to be Mr. Furley though.
Yeah.
I used to be able to impersonate him when I was younger. You know?
Oh.
Yeah, I
You
used
lost
to.
the ability?
Yeah, balls dropped. Couldn't do it anymore. He's a higher octave. He's a higher octave than I am.
How did your Mr. Furley go over?
Oh, pretty good.
People liked it?
Well, I mean, there were so many Scooby Doo episodes with him on it. It was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch any of his movies?
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay. I'm not.
Just a shit ton.
I like
of
Don
I
Knotts
mean,
is okay.
everybody watched Andy
I
Griffith
think
all
he's
the
a nice
time.
guy.
So
I've only seen a few of those episodes. I can't really name. I just know. Yeah, I don't know much about that show.
what?
Andy Griffith. I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I'm one of the few people that.
I figured your parents would be into that.
No, not that one. We were watching Sanford and Son though.
John Wayne in
Jefferson
between.
Um,
Any Western? Yeah.
my parents are even older, so my dad showed me Gene Autry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going way back there.
Man.
Oh yeah, very
Remember
much.
he was
older.
the miracle baby.
That's
Right.
right. I was a miracle baby. Can believe it. Well, we're halfway through the show, a little over halfway through, if you can believe it. And that means it's time to talk about Wilson Farm Market. Wilson Farm Market, the sponsor of the show. These people right here. There you go. Donating $10 more to coach kids I think we're now up to $50 for those
Yeah, I see.
children. That's what I'm doing. Karen, be careful. We don't have a lot of money to give away. Karen's working at it. Michael's going to be angry when you break that microphone. Look out. What is that now? 40, 50, $60 to the kids. Gee, Merry Christmas. But Wilson Farm Market, delicious food any time of the year. They're on US 31 if you're close. And again, like I told you before, swear to God, people come from states away to come to this store.
Swear to
Get
God.
their
Swear to
pie
God, they
Swear to
do,
God to
man.
do. Shout out Donnie Baker.
It's
R.I.P.
crazy.
to
And
nibble on those chicken legs.
chicken, the fry pies, like I said, they kept those people, they built a roof and they kept them in a basement and made them teach them how to make the food. But I will tell you a serious story of Wilson Farm Market. This is my Wilson Farm. I'll make it really quick. But when I first went in there, I was met Scott. We were talking about walking me through the store, and they told me they used to have, when you first walk into the building, there used to be a place like a booth, okay, and they had like some napkins sitting there, and then in the front corner they had some shelving and stuff they don't use. Like once in a while they use end caps. It was just like a storage spot, but there was a place there where you could sit, and eat something. And eventually they take that out, because what happens is people come from out of state and they hear about this chicken, okay, and they would come in, okay, and granted, right over here 15 feet away are 2 or 3 registers. People would come in as a family and sit in the booth and sit there, and in about 10 minutes they say, excuse me, is someone going to come take our order? They thought it was a restaurant,
Oh,
because there's so many people
gosh.
coming in for the food and there's a place to sit. They thought this was a place to sit down and eat, like a restaurant. Like, oh, sorry, we're just a farm marketplace. You'll have to enjoy this in your car.
Yeah.
So people thought that is what it's about. But it's so full in there with people, you think it could be a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Because around noon or 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
get there early. So yeah, so people, it's a great place. There's all sorts of delicious food, candies.
You're going to
yummy
find
stuff.
something.
Exactly. Get out there, Wilson Farm Market, and he's hilarious. If you get a chance to talk to him, it's a family-owned business.
Don't go above your budget, but if you do it at Wilson's Farm Market.
And if you do, absolutely. And they are the people that if you pay with cash, it's a cheaper price.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
there's
always
there's
fun.
a card price and a cash price, but it's
That 3%, right?
3%. But getting it done.
I don't know if that's.
But he
right.
sponsors everything here, so we appreciate that. So our next story, since we're getting closer to the Christmas season,
Woohoo!
it won't be long now.
Santa Claus coming to town.
So this one comes from our neighbors to the south.
Which ones?
Uh,
There's a few. We say the north. There's only one. There's only one dude up there. So.
this.
Yeah.
This is from the University of Kentucky. University of Kentucky, UK Now Campus News by Meg Mills. Okay. So just something local for the campus, writing for the campus online paper, something like that.
Wildcats.
The Wildcats. You remember remember the Wildcat logo? Did you ever have that? Did you remember how it changed?
Well, it used to have the actual cat on it.
It used to have the cat, and then the cat had a tongue.
Yeah.
And then I had a teacher in high school who taught like psychology.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he's the one that I think brought it up and said, now that cat, that wildcat is a bit of there's something dirty in that. And he made the thing that the red wildcat's tongue that came out looked like a penis.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
he
did he
taught
just,
like
like,
psychology.
Super zoom in on it or something.
I don't
They had
know.
to get rid of it.
Little Freudian.
But yeah, there was somebody that was in his class, and I won't mention, but this person wore Kentucky stuff in all the time. And he was an IU. I don't know if he was just an IU fan. He was just messing with this student. But, different time. Let's move on.
So
I don't want to talk about the penis anymore.
You hear Wildcat and you get all twirly.
UK Now, Campus News, Meg Mills. Here it is. It says, it's titled Celebrate Sustainably This Holiday Season, or as I like to call it, How to Be a Cheap Bastard This Holiday Season. That's my part. So, you ready?
I'm just picturing somebody in one of those moo-moos doing everything that's in this
Typing it
list.
up.
Yeah.
Well, if you go on UK Now,
is Meg Mills a roper romper?
maybe so. I didn't see a picture of this
All right.
person, but she does write the same kind of sustainable stories like every few months. And we're talking about sustainable as in the environment
Okay.
where we're heading. So, number one, reconsider cards. Reduce waste, and send e-cards or small handwritten notes. Okay, because each year, thousands and millions of tons are dumped into the landfills. James, does that bother you? Keep you up at night?
Yes. just
Okay, it
all the
bothers
time.
James.
Yeah.
What
It
about
makes
you?
the Native Americans cry.
Yes, it's a one tier.
The one tier.
Do you send Christmas cards
Not anymore.
to people? Not anymore. Well, you also are making 35 gingerbread full
Yeah.
double Daryl. Yeah,
That's
you're
my-
busy.
She's doing her holiday part.
I'm not much of a card sender either. Now, again, my part is how it's how this should be really called how to be a cheap bastard this holiday season.
The
So, yeah.
easiest way is just don't send shit to anybody.
Yeah. Some of these, hey, don't get me wrong, I'm on board for it. Now, I'm not really a cheap bastard. I mean, when I go places and restaurants, I tip well.
Oh, yeah.
I give money away. I'm not, a cheap bastard, but I do like some of these. So I think the positive spin you could take from this, you could spend more money on the gift.
Ooh.
So instead of getting you a special card or sending you a card, how about a couple more bucks on the gift? That sound good?
It could be.
Okay.
I don't see why you have to get everybody something anyway.
Okay. Now look at it. You want to read these? Here's the real cheap bastard.
Well,
sitting over there by the mic.
when my son turned 10, he's like, Dad, I haven't believed in Santa Claus for a long time. Can I just have cash for Christmas? I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, but he still could get gifts even though he doesn't believe in Santa, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. But he'd just rather have cash.
Yeah. You just get what he wants.
Okay. I get it. Let's keep going.
All right.
You cheap
Roll it,
bastards.
bitch.
Experimental gifts. Oh, sorry. Not experimental.
Oh yes, I like
Here's a
those.
dab
Those are
rig.
my favorite.
Here we
Here's
go.
a dab
Where do
rig.
they fit and how does it work?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Right. How big is this gift card dispensers?
It's going to hurt a little bit. But after a while, get used to the pain.
yeah.
This is experiential gifts. That's how you pronounce
Oh.
it. Experiential gift.
Oh, you mean I gotta go
Over
do
the
something?
The gift of experiences.
Over material gifts. So, concert tickets,
Yeah.
passes to something. Okay.
I took
So-
like when I take my son to I took him to wrestling, shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Somewhere where you go do something together.
So my kids are old enough that they tell you what they want and you basically get that. So it's no fucking surprise.
Okay.
They know what they're getting. And so Catherine asked for something and it happens to be
An experimental gift.
an experiment. No.
It's your kids. I'm not going to go. I'm sorry. I
An
apologize.
event.
Oh, she wants to go to a certain
thing.
event?
She
Okay.
wants to go. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that could happen.
Well, yeah.
And so
I can't get you Taylor Swift tickets.
Can you
damn
tell
it.
us the event that she asked for? Or you don't want
Bonnaroo.
Oh,
yeah.
Bonnaroo?
Bonnaroo.
Oh my
But
goodness.
the camping part of it.
No.
Anyway, but
Yeah, not the
thing
drug
is,
part.
there's
It's
no
like a
way.
3-day thing.
She's
yeah.
paying for the other part. But
Okay.
what I'm getting at is so yeah, I did that, but there's no open this. So I'm gonna make an unsustainable card, like something special, so that
Something- so
she's
you
got
just have something
to
for
be like,
the-
oh look, I'm gonna go camping.
That's the
But she knows this is coming, right? We didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you said, now, are you going to go on this trip? Is it for you two
No.
to Why, you're not going? Why not? Doesn't she want you to go? You guys to go
Oh,
together?
hell no, she wouldn't
Oh, I
take me.
thought it was.
I'm not that fun.
Oh, I was gonna say, you're like, I feel like I should give her something because if you go on that, you're gonna have to. You're breathing, breathe deep. Your heart isn't gonna explode. You took something. Yeah. Okay. You're not going. Someone else will be taking care of her there.
I
the
think that's why
adrenaline
you
shot.
camp.
Yes.
I think that's why you camp. So you got that much time to.
Oh, you can still have a panic attack in a tent.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but you're not gonna go. Would you like to go? If she would ask you to go, would you go to that festival? Would you do it?
I
would
don't
you
know. I
attend?
got a podcast. I'm
Would you?
sorry.
Take a day off.
Would you
man.
if it was
can
like
go
Milwaukee
places.
Metal Fest?
Oh, maybe you'd
Maybe.
like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, that's a cool gift.
Yeah.
Now your two other kids, did they ask for things like that? Are they doing something like that?
They
Or they
asked
want
for specific items,
Okay,
but not the.
You know, one's going to Burning Man. The other
Yes,
one's
yes,
yeah.
and you won't be going to Burning Man.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's nice of you. And so you said for your son, you do wrestling.
No, that's
You
it.
guys do
You were talking about experience gifts. Like, there's one year where I don't remember what age he turned, but I was sitting there and I'm like, the kid has everything, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, he was
yeah.
like
Yeah,
the only
that's what's
grandkid in a
hard.
whole line of kids. So I'm like, all right, what can I get him that's not something he'd expect? And I'm just like, hey, we're going on a trip, and showed up at the fucking arena in Terre Haute for wrestling. Yeah. Talked about it for weeks.
There
Those
we
are
go.
fun things
Yeah.
to do. I like
That's
doing
right.
that. But I don't necessarily do that at Christmas time. Like,
No, but my son's birthday is like it's literally yesterday.
Exactly.
So like all their birthdays are in
Right.
birthdays in December. So
right.
yeah.
Well, it's definitely not cheap bastard to do that. I mean, it's expensive.
Oh yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah.
So experiential gifts over material gifts. And like I said, tickets, passes. And I came up with one.
Oh, I'm ready.
A tumultuous orgasm.
Who's he giving it to though?
Thank you, Mr. W, for laughing out there. I know he is. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying for others to know. Not that I could give that to anyone. I can't satisfy anything. I've been disappointing for women, Central Indiana, for well over 30 years. Okay, just ask.
Both of them.
Okay, let's move on. All two of them. All two of them. Here's one. This is right down the cheap bastard alleyway. This is awesome. Honor them with a donation.
Oh, is that where you buy somebody a cow or a goat from another country?
They're going to plant a tree somewhere in your name.
Oh yeah.
That kind of thing.
I
You
got
ever give anybody one of those kind of things?
No.
James?
I got your name engraved on a brick at some place you're never gonna go to.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like these because there's nice official forms you can print out for this, and they're easy to falsify.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to donate $20 in the name of something for you, and you just never do it.
Just print it
But
out.
this printout says I did it.
Yeah.
Cheap bastards.
Ah.
Somebody gives you that sucks. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I think I did something like that for Riley Hospital once.
I knew it was gonna. I was getting ready to step in front of you so you didn't run me over with that part, because that's what's sort of like, well, hey, you're giving money to these guys, you shithead. Like, so I'm just saying, here's before you. Damn it, you put it in gear, and I was still under there putting the oil filter on. You ran me over. No, look. Here's what. You shit. Karen's getting funnier. This, if you're gonna donate like that, donate it in your name and put like several people on it, but still get someone a friggin' gift. Give them the tickets. I'm just saying, do both. There.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do it in your own name or your family's name, but then also still give somebody something. Okay, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to do things for other people and write those checks. Just don't do it like, here, I did this for you.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want a tree planted there. Maybe I would
And
have
actually
given my money to somebody else.
And actually, some of those, if you're putting it in somebody else's name, they would have to like claim, like some of those you got to claim on taxes because you're giving the money away and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So now who gets the tax break?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Got to figure out
saying.
who got
Oh,
IRS going to come ask.
Just give money to Coach Kids. That's here in Clinton County. Give them money for sure. Okay, here's one. This is a cheap bastard. I've done this one. And this could be okay. This is one I like to do. Gift your time.
Oh yeah.
I always tell people that.
Yeah.
Like I don't buy I'm a terrible gift giver.
I get returned if that's the way it's going to end up being at some point.
What's that?
They're like, I'm sick of being with it.
Actually,
yeah, I
you
don't
keep
want
yourself.
this time. You
Yeah.
take this time back.
Are you a good gift giver, Karen? Are you a good, you do,
I think so.
since they've little through, you're just a good gift giver.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell you one thing. My mom did one of those one year. Didn't really have enough cash, but she spent it was probably from work though.
Oh, it's probably from spending
a
all the money
stack of
from Betty
paper.
Ford for you.
Yeah, a
So you're
stack
coming home drunk at 12. Go ahead.
a stack of paper, but she made up little things like this coupon is good for 1 gallon
Oh,
of
the
paint to
coupon
paint your
book.
room, or this coupon is good for like one of those
Now,
coupon.
before I
booky
lay
things.
into this,
Oh, come on.
are you saying you did this because you were growing up and you didn't have a lot of money? Is that the story?
No,
Oh,
no.
so you had money in the bank?
Right,
Oh,
but I
this,
think
okay,
this
get ready.
it was one of those moments where it
Cheap
was
bastard,
just
it.
I believe I got one of those ones because we were poor. So I do remember that.
Okay,
yeah,
you're
it
okay.
was like a thing to do, right?
When he's starving, he's eating sawed off places and shit.
Right.
But your mom did that for Christmas for you.
Yeah, for 1 year. And what's funny is I wish I could find that thing because I don't think I ever cashed half that shit in. I should do it.
It really
now.
meant something.
Yeah.
Did she do it for everyone that year? Is that the only
No,
thing you
I'm an
got
only
was the
child.
booklet?
I'm an only child.
So that year, only thing you got was the booklet of certificates, or did you get other things?
I think just that. It was after
just-
a divorce.
Oh, it was
So
a rough
therefore
time.
we were like,
How about I turn this certificate in for you to get me a good? Where's my certificate for a new dad? I said, oh, deep,
no, thank you.
deep. That's weird, but that's nice. But you still might have
was
them. You
weird.
said they're hidden somewhere. You still have them. That's kind
Maybe.
of nice.
Take me a hot minute to find it.
Your mom
but
watches the show, remember?
If I find it,
So you owe her. If you dig those
oh,
up,
she owes me, man.
I just what I
She
mean.
owes
Imagine
me.
what are on those cards.
Oh, yeah,
What your
yeah,
mom
yeah.
is going to have to do now.
Yeah.
James, you
Yeah,
ever-
like let's run around the block 4 times, and like you
Yes.
can't now. It's like, well,
No.
come on, I got the coupon.
I want my ice cream. You
Yeah,
said
where's
you're,
the ice cream? It says you're driving me up the coast. What is this?
you're gonna find a sensible boyfriend. You never did. James, you said you got these for Christmas too?
I think it was like something that was like added on, maybe like an Easter thing. I can't
Here.
remember. It sounds real familiar.
5 minutes
It
less
does,
on your
yeah.
beating.
Yeah.
Did you get stuff less beating?
And there's
time?
also an episode of Family Guy where Peter gives those to Lois, I think, or the other way around. But he didn't actually. He just wrote them up himself and was using them.
I'm
Like
just
I didn't even give you those, and he's trying to use them.
I'm wondering what your cards were that you got, so that your dad gave you your
Oh,
mom.
who knows?
Yeah.
Go get me a pack of smokes.
Yeah.
Like this ain't my fucking card.
Yeah, let's just say beat you for 5 minutes less.
Yeah.
You know, I'll actually warm up it to food tonight. I'll open the ravioli can.
I'll sprinkle salt on stuff when I cook it.
Gift your time. Gift your time. Nice. Yeah, I think that's good to do for people. So that's good. Like volunteer. Okay. But that's kind of cheap, but good. Give this one.
Well, it depends on how talented you are.
If it's non-Christmas,
Yes.
if it's non-Christmas related, anytime you've helped anybody move,
Yeah, there it is.
there's
Merry
one.
Christmas, man. I'm
Yeah,
done.
I ain't buying you shit
did it.
forever. I just helped you move once.
Give reusable gifts.
Well, isn't
That's
that
it.
basically regifting something?
No, like something you could use over and over. So I put on here like question mark, what? Metal straw, paper clips? The hell are you talking about? Don't give me some
Plastic
stupid.
bags that you
The
wash
point in
out?
here was like, make sure you give them gifts that they don't, they're made out of
Use and
plastic,
throw
but they
away.
last for years, or I don't know, reusable
Shopping
gifts.
bags from the
I
stores.
think a toothbrush, like
A car? What the fuck?
going down a chintzy road. Here's a great one: buy secondhand. Give everybody items. Oh, give everyday items new life. So I have down here, give the shitty gift of shit from your house.
Hey, you know what?
It's just old shit around my house. Here's something I don't use anymore.
This Christmas,
Ugh.
I'm doing an open house for family and
Yeah.
friends. And
Get
my
ready.
one thing is, I said there are no Christmas presents being exchanged with the exception of a white elephant gift.
Okay.
White elephant, I don't know, I call it multicolor because I didn't want to call it white or black. But I said the rules to the game are
This multicultural elephant.
yes,
Yes.
multicultural elephant gift. It has to be something in your house or
It's elephant's pronoun.
of your personal possession. Number 2, you're not allowed to spend any money on it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Everybody's getting eagle
Number
swag.
3, if you recognize the gift that you may have given someone, you're not allowed to get uptight about it. It's time for someone else to enjoy it.
Understood. See, I like this because it's set up like a game and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not really somebody opening up. That's
we'll
what
have
I'm-
a Goodwill box at the front door for
There you
those
go.
that aren't
And you can
interested in
donate the
keeping what they
products.
what they got.
See, when it's set up like a game and everybody's supposed to do that, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you're actually giving somebody
Something that you
some
got
old
before.
toothbrush that you had,
Well, not an old toothbrush.
I was
What
thinking
if it's a
Karen was just-
toothbrush you don't like?
I was just thinking Karen was going to give people bags when they got here. Like, oh, take something off of somewhere, and you can
yeah,
just
Oh,
that's
grab some
there you
stuff from
go.
around
Here.
here. Old beer
There you go. Can you
can,
imagine how many people be in this room?
cigarette butts.
Like
Oh, I'd already had this place wiped out.
you already.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, there's one. Say there's a Billy beer can. There's got to be Billy beer around here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, another way. Choose wrapping paper alternatives. And then in here, I'm not going to read the quote, but I pretty much got it here. It's like it said, most wrapping paper during the holiday season is only used once. Thanks.
Yeah.
Jesus. Did you go to college for that? What the fuck are you supposed to do with it?
Oh no, when I was little, we had shit wrapped in newspapers. They didn't
Yeah.
give
That's a
two
great one.
fucks.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Funny
Yeah.
papers.
There's
Back
and that's
in the day when they were funny.
It, no, it was
suggested.
just because like,
Yeah.
hey, we're not going to spend the extra $5 on some stuff when you're just going to tear it apart and throw it on the floor.
I love wrapping stuff in newspaper and stuff. But now, ain't nobody got any newspapers.
Yeah.
Right.
Print those anymore.
Right.
So I feel since we're saving on printing newspapers every day, since no one reads it, we can buy a little bit of the wrapping paper.
We have a sweet
okay?
wrapping paper gift box and open it up, and there's a
Jesus.
USA Today inside it.
Wrap the damn gift.
you could
And
wrap
I'm
it in
shitty
toilet
at wrapping
paper.
gifts. I bet you're a fantastic rapper. I bet they're
Oh, I
friggin'
am. I
perfect.
am really good at it.
Do you wrap gifts really good?
was
I bet you're
terrible.
good at it. Okay.
No, I was terrible.
I thought you might be good at it.
I took a gift last year for, I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was, but whatever the gift was, I took it and then I wrapped it in a way that I created an animal out of it, like a whale or
Doing
something.
Origami
so, like,
over here out of her
It's-
gifts.
It was really fucking cool.
You know, the way I got better at actually wrapping gifts, honestly, was changing diapers.
Oh yeah.
Because it's all
Oh.
the same motion. You're doing the same shit.
Very
just-
good.
So whenever I'm sitting there and I fold the corners, I'm doing whatever, it's like, oh, just like putting the diaper on, there's tabs on here, and just flip it up. Got better at wrapping gifts because you had to change so many diapers when they're little.
So when you're wrapping a gift and you're getting it all set up, would it help if somebody came up and just
Take
dump
on
the
you.
load right on the
Nah,
table for you? Is that
I just powder the shit out of it, and then don't
Okay.
know what. Yeah, and I just send it on its way.
mine's full of
What is
talcum
this
powder.
Yeah.
Now, who'd you make the giraffe for? Was that for
It was a
little
whale,
person?
and I want to say
Little
it
person's
was
gift?
either Adam or Matt, one
Oh,
of those two.
How nice!
I mean, you know,
my mom was
bitter spot.
really good at it. She could do it really well. I've gotten better. It helps if it's a box
Oh yeah.
that's nice and simple.
Oh no, I can wrap
Oh, God.
anything.
But I will say this about wrapping. I would tell people why sometimes I wrap shitty is because when I was a kid and I would get gifts from other people, sometimes some of the best gifts I ever got were wrapped like crappily. And it seemed like the more like it doesn't fit the mold of a normal wrapping and it's something awesome in there.
So what my dad used to do, I was gonna tell you, I told you before the show started, I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
bring this
you've
up.
got a story.
So what my dad used to do, he had two things he used to do to me on Christmas when I was real young, and because there was always be one thing I knew. He was like, you know, they always basically got me the one thing that I really wanted for Christmas, right? You know, like one year it was like you know, we're talking about He-Man earlier, it was like a Castle Grayskull or something. It was like a big thing.
Yeah.
And so you can't really like hide this giant ass box or whatever.
No.
But some of the smaller stuff later on, like, you know, like a Nintendo game or something like that. So I
Yes.
really wanted, like, you know, Tecmo Bowl back when Nintendo first came out.
Roach clips. Go
So
ahead.
I had a Nintendo, and
Yes.
I was waiting. It was like Tecmo Bowl better be one of these damn things I opened up.
Yes, of course.
So I open up one of these ones. I'm figuring it's going to be the game. It's about the size. Open it up, and when I open it up, there's like it's the Tecmo Bowl box, and it's got baseball cards in it.
Ha ha.
And I'm like, oh, what the hell?
The old
I opened it up, and there's, you know, dumping
Yeah.
the baseball, and then I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I do want to keep these baseball cards. Got to put them
Yeah,
aside.
these aren't bad, but
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we need to talk
Yeah,
about
So I'm like, okay, somewhere over here is this game.
Yeah.
I start digging around. Of course, the last thing I'm always going to open is the clothes. Yeah, inside some socks and stuff. The game's sitting in there with the stuff all in there. Well, a couple years later, I'm expecting something. I don't remember what it was, but there was this one huge box, right? And I'm thinking, man, whatever's in that huge box, I'm going to open that first. What's the first present you want? That big one. I go to open it up, and when you go to pick the box up, like it had some weight to it, and I pull it over and set it down and start tearing all the stuff off, and I get down there and there's like another box.
Yep.
And you know, he didn't like Chinese or Russian doll me.
yeah, I got
but he
you.
just did it once. And then I opened another big box inside, and then down the bottom was like a Swatch watch. Just a box.
something very small.
But he had a bunch of stuff, just like little bags of stuff just laying in the bottom so it actually have some girth to it.
Yeah.
So I would do that.
Tricked you,
Oh yeah.
but you loved it.
Oh yeah. But I'm sitting there thinking I'm getting this giant whatever, you know.
Sure, and it's
Yeah.
the smallest item.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he hid your game.
Yeah, but the
So-
other one, whenever I thought that big box, I thought that was going to be like Snake Mountain or Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
So then when they get done unwrapping everything, and I'm all disappointed, they come out with, you know, here's a
Here
giant. We
you
didn't want to
go.
wrap this, but we wrapped that over there and messed with you.
Ah,
Oh, all right, awesome.
very
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
I think
Christmas
we had.
fun.
I think Christmas was like the best time when we were little. I think it's harder now with all the technology.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like you just throw phones or games at kids now.
I think it's the perspective of your age.
Yeah.
If you were little, it's all magical still to you.
Yeah,
And it is.
yeah,
It's
but
okay. It's
I mean, even the
different.
toys for babies, some of them are so
Here's your phone.
loud and
Obnoxious.
annoying versus.
Why can't they just play with wood? Here's a caftan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw that on.
Wrap this around you.
Burn
Well-
stuff and hit things with hammers like we did.
We're getting towards the end, but I'll tell a story really fast because there's not much left going here.
Oh,
Thanks,
and-
Meg.
And speaking of
It
the
was a Meg show.
Christmas gifts like I was talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
Oh,
go
yeah.
watch the
I was
episode
getting
about
ready
the
to say,
Christmas
fake
gift.
out.
Fake
When you were
out.
doing that, there's nothing in any of these.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Frank. That's great.
Don't give away anymore because it's hilarious.
I won't. And just to let you know, if you didn't already know, the Always Sunny Christmas episodes are not.
Yeah.
They're not for your family. They're not for small people. Don't do that.
But they're great.
So I'll tell Mike I have a gift story kind of like James. Okay, so I'll go quick. So I think it was my 10th birthday. So start with my birthday, and at my birthday, I got a cassette recorder. That's what I wanted, and then they got me. I didn't have a Nintendo. Okay. But they got me this little Radio Shack game that was like a kind of game and watch.
Yeah.
But I loved it. No problem. Played it. Had a great time. I had asked for a Nintendo for Christmas. Okay. Because a couple of my friends had them. I didn't have one. So Christmas comes along. Okay. And kind of like James. So we're getting going. And I open one of the first gifts, and it's about the size of a Nintendo game box. And I open up, and it's Spy Hunter for Nintendo. And I, as a child, and I've gotten better as I've gotten older, had like a pretty quick temper. I wasn't like a spoiled brat, but I just got like, and I was like, what's this? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, because any other, I think, child, if they thought it through, would know, oh, this is a hint.
That's what I would, yeah.
Because you're smart. And so, but I launched into anger.
Anger.
And I'm like,
How
what
the
is
fuck
this?
am I supposed to play this?
Yes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? And so then my mom and dad, they were older, like, oh, well, we thought that's a game like you got for your, they had a perfect answer. Like, and they're older.
They didn't know.
We thought that was like
Yeah.
the thing. I'm like, no, this goes to a Nintendo and I don't have one. You know, I'm like, well,
As
okay.
tears are streaming
We're gonna
down
rate
your
you one, you'll be
face.
all
And
right.
then like, well, we could take it back. And it got even to the point where I'm taking the wrapping and I'm going to go throw it in the trash. And then my brother playing too. He's like, well, we'll just take a couple days. We'll just go to Lafayette and take it back and just get the money and go somewhere. And then I'm like, well, can I go with him? Oh, sure. You can go with your brother to Lafayette, take the game back. So now I'm excited to hang out with my brother and just take this gift bag and wrap all the other stuff, get to the last box, open it up, Nintendo in there. Yeah.
And then you're what, kissing ass the rest of the day?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't throw a fit like meltdown. I was just upset.
Let me clean up the rest of stuff, Mom. I got
But
it.
what my brother had done
Yeah.
the summer before, I was going to a friend's house and playing games. And then he would talk to me. He goes, I bought that Nintendo over a year ago. And he goes, then I would come over to the house and you'd be talking about going to your friend's house. I'm like, what was that again? No, what was he doing? And then I would listen to you and take that information home and go play it for myself. So he'd been for a year playing the Nintendo and having me help him, telling me what I'm doing at my friend's house. So right after that,
You were his Nintendo power.
he went, yes, I was his Nintendo power. And he went and bought his own Nintendo, you know, so that was my Nintendo story. I thought it was one gift. James again's like,
He was an
well,
adult then by that point, right?
him,
Around
he's
adult
15
age?
years older than me.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's like 25 and I'm
Yeah.
10, you know, that kind of thing. So that's my story
And you're sticking to it.
and I'm sticking to it. And it was a Merry Christmas. Love the
Merry-
Nintendo. That was a lot of fun. Well, it's time for us to wrap up, get the heck out of here. So a few reminders. Number one, still got the giveaway for the freaking Franklin's worth of food from the farm from Wilson Farm Market. $100 gift card. You just let us know at the GGHOP, THEEGGHOP at gmail.com that you want the card.
Elemental P.
Put you in for the drawing. And a week from this Friday, Scott Wilson will be here. He'll draw that. Also, Amanda's,
Oh, beauty bucket.
I believe it was the basket of beauty.
Basket.
But also a beauty bucket, if you want to call it that.
Damn it.
Almost $200 of things to make you look beautiful. You just need to say, I want Amanda's beauty bucket basket. I say, I hope she brought,
Basket
she
of
brought
beauty.
the box.
Basket of beauty.
Basket of beauty, box of beauty, over at $200 value. And you just need to say, I want the box. I want the basket, the bucket. You don't have to give a sentence. Okay. I think we knocked a couple signs off. I think now we're up to like $60 for Coach for Kids. That's good. Reminder that Wednesday, Jessica Iman will be here and to talk and have a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe get
Somebody's
a free
gonna get rubbed
massage.
off.
Maybe massages while we're talking. I don't know.
Somebody's going to get rubbed on.
And then Friday, Cindy Loveless. So thanks again for tuning into the GGHOP, sponsored by Wilson Farm Market, Frankfurt Beer Works. We appreciate
Frankfurt
it.
Beer
Thank you for
Works.
taking the time to take the time. And again, treat other people like you would like to be treated. Lighten the hell up, and you go make somebody laugh now. See ya.
Off on the internet, what do you see? Clickbait, politics dressed as comedy. Who's outraged? Who's doubling down? The GGHOP is is here to turn it all around with an ancient idea called having fun. Sounds a little scary, stick around, don't run. In the next 60 minutes, begging you to try. Open up your echo chamber and ditch your tribe. There's just one mission by which we're led to put a big fat smile upon your head. The song is almost done, time to stop the show. But there might be something left that you'd like to know. What's GGHOP mean? It's your right to ask. The guaranteed, genuine, honest to goodness 1 hour podcast.